second graders, today is Monday, December 7th, 2020. Today for reading we have two lessons. The first one was on our big idea in our read aloud for the week. And our second lesson is our phonics lesson that is going to teach us our phonics and spelling skill for the week, which is the long I sound. Now, in second grade, we have already learned that the I can make two sounds. It can be short and say it, or it can be long and say its own name, I. We have already learned one way we can make the long I sound is with the I consonant, bossy E that jumps over the consonant to make the I long. Now today, and all throughout the week, we're going to learn that the long I sound can be spelled with the letters I, which I will call is a rule breaker, I-E, I-G-H, and Y. Now all of these can also stand for the long I sound. Now let's look at some examples. The first one is just an I. Now most of the time if it's just an I, it's going to say it. However, sometimes it breaks the rules. If you look at this first word and you try to sound it out with a short I, wa, it, uld, willed, you'll notice that's not a word. The I is breaking the rules. And so the I is not saying it, but it's saying I. Like in the word wild. That is a word. If you look at the second one, ild, mild, that is not a word. The I is breaking the rules. It is saying the long I sound. It is mild. So you'll notice there's not a lot of times the I breaks the rules, but sometimes it does. Another way to make the long I sound is with the Y. We know Y is a vowel. It doesn't have its own sound. It has to borrow either the short I, the long E, or now the long I. So most of the time at the end of the word, if there's a Y, it's going to say the long I sound. Sometimes though it will say the long E sound, like in my name, Mrs. Murphy, but if there's a Y at the end of the word, either check is it a long E or a long I. So here's some examples of the Y making the long I sound. Cry, dry, try, my, buy, fly, and Y. All right, another way to make the long I sound is with an I and an E. And so I call this a vowel team. When two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. The I is going to say I, the E is going to be silent. So most of the time you're going to see this at the end of the word. Like in the word pie, tie, lie, fries, and die. All right, the last one, which is kind of a tricky one, you have the I-G-H. Now the GH are not going to say anything. So it's just going to be the I being the long I sound. So most of the time it's going to be the middle if there's a T at the end, or if there's no T, then it's going to be at the end of the word. Like in light, sight, height, flight, night. Now in spelling today, you're going to learn who the night of it is, and then right and high and tight. Okay, we are going to watch some fab phonics videos that practices these sounds. And we're going to start with the Y, and this is Ryan the Python.
Ryan Python asked, why can't I fly? I'm not shy, so I'll give it a try. He jumped in the sky, but let out a cry when he landed right by a pigsty. Oh my! Ryan Python asked, why can't I fly? I'm not shy, so I'll give it a try. He jumped in the sky, but let out a cry when he landed right by a pigsty. Oh my! Ryan Python asked, why can't I fly? I'm not shy, so I'll give it a try. He jumped in the sky, but let out a cry when he landed right by a pigsty. Oh my!
All right, so that video showed us that the long I sound can be spelled with a Y. We are also going to do Mackay pie. Mr. Mackay's pie.
Mr. Mackay plants some apple seeds which lie on the grass away from the weeds. He hopes they won't die because he loves apple pie, which he scoffs in his tie at great speed. Mr. Mackay plants some apple seeds which lie on the grass away from the weeds. He hopes they won't die because he loves apple pie, which he scoffs in his tie at great speed. Mr. Mackay plants some apple seeds which lie on the grass away from the weeds. He hopes they won't die because he loves apple pie, which he scoffs in his tie at great speed.
Okay, that one showed us the long I with the I-E, and then there's one more, which I gotta find here. Oops. It is down here on the nightingale.
Nicola Nightingale's wings are so bright, high up in the clouds she's a beautiful sight. On a midnight flight she had such a fright when lightning flashed in the moonlight. Nicola Nightingale's wings are so bright, high up in the clouds she's a beautiful sight. On a midnight flight she had such a fright when lightning flashed in the moonlight. Nicola Nightingale's wings are so bright, high up in the clouds she's a beautiful sight. On a midnight flight she had such a fright when lightning flashed in the moonlight.
Alright, these Fab Phonics videos showed us that the long I sound can be spelled with an I-E, a Y, or an I-G-H. Now, today for your assignment, you need to find your reading worksheet, which is page 112. It should be behind Mondays, December 12th. And you need to pause the video if you need to go get it. Once you get your worksheet, put your name nice and neat at the top. And in the box, it says the letters I, Y, I-G-H, and I-E can stand for the long I sound. Listen to the vowel sound as you say the words kind, why, might, and skies. So all four of those words have the long I, but they're all spelled differently. Now, down below, we are going to look at the words in the box, and then you're going to write them on the correct list below. So Mrs. Murphy is going to help you get started here. The first one is cry, and that one has a Y. So Mrs. Murphy is going to find the other one, or actually there's two of them that have Y's. So we have cry, dry, and try. I can see these right away. All right. Now, they're going to go on number 2, words with a long I sound as in fly. Okay. Now, let me find, which the word is fine. Let me find the words with a long I sound as in fine, which is a rule breaker. So if you want to put that in jail, you can. I know you guys like to do that. But if you look, we have the word mind. That one is definitely a rule breaker because it has just the I, but it says I instead of it, and wild. So those two rule breakers will go on number 1. All right, number 3. The words with a long I sound as in bright. This is the I-G-H. So if you look up here, we have high, light, and sight. So those 3 will go on number 3. And the last one, number 4, words with a long I sound as in pie, the I-E. So I have tie and lie. So I have those 2 that will go there. Pause the video if you need to, write your words, and then when you're done, you are going to do the bottom section. I will do one with you to help you get started. Draw a line to divide each word into syllables. So we learned in 2nd grade that a syllable has to have one vowel sound. So every syllable has one vowel sound. Not necessarily one vowel, but one vowel sound. Because it could be a vowel team, which is 2 vowels making one sound. Now, a number 1 I see two vowels. I see the O and the Y. So I know that this word has to have two syllables. So let's sound out this word. Pony. So I'm going to say it in my head. I'm going to clap it, or I can say it out loud. Pony. So when I say it, I hear po, P-O, and I know it has to go after the O, and then ni, N-Y. Pony. Okay, two syllables because there's two vowels. All right, now I'm going to say these. You clap them, and then divide them with your pencil. Number 6 is table. I'll say it one more time. Table. Number 7 is spider. I'll say it one more time. Spider. And number 8 is music. I'll say it one more time. Music. Make sure you have all these words divided with your pencil, just like we did on the first one. And when you're done, keep this paper in a safe spot because you'll need to turn it in for Mrs. Murphy to look at and to grade.